And produced by your great friend Fergie, David Ferguson.
And he's a dear friend. Fergie is as well. Fergie's the ultimate drink ticket when you go on the Outlaw Country Cruise. Stay close to him or make sure that he's on board. I love Dave Ferguson.
Yeah, talk about him a little bit because he's a legendary engineer producer.
He's legendary, and he's done so much great stuff as an artist, as a writer, and certainly an incredible producer and engineer. And, you know, years ago when I was at A&M, one of the records we did that was part of the Americana series was an artist named David Wilcox from Asheville, North Carolina. We did this record, and it was produced by my friend Patrick McCarthy, who I met through Daniel Lanois, and it was Patrick's first record production in his career. He had been an engineer, mixing engineer, and he went on to produce REM records after that. But Fergie was around the studio, and Cowboy Jack Clement, and I don't know if you ever had a chance to meet Cowboy Jack, but
I did not.
That man was amazing and such an inspiration, and a guy whose business card was like him on a swing with a top hat and a big coat and a mandolin saying, "We're in the fun business. If we're not having fun, we're not doing our job."
Wow, that was his card?
And I'll send a copy of it.
You got one?
Oh, yeah, I have one, but I've got a photo of it, and I send it to people all the time, but I'll send it to you. But he was amazing, and he would come into the studio when we were making the record. And that was another record we made for $20,000. And if I listened to it now, it would make me smile. It would bring joy to my heart. It would make me cry. And it's a magnificent record. And again, years later, David Wilcox still has a career. He still tours, still makes records, and he's an amazing, amazing singer-songwriter.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, and that was in the attic, that studio?
Yeah, it was upstairs.
Yeah,
and
talk about that.
Before they fixed it up, it was really pretty ramshackle. It was outrageous.
Yeah, and that was a scene in and of itself.
Oh, totally. And Fergie was the man, and Cowboy Jack was the man, and people would hang there. And I remember when I was at A&M, we made the Yellow Moon record with the Neville Brothers, which I'm madly proud of and so happy to be a part of.
That won a Grammy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we sold a lot of records. Aaron went on to make a solo record after that was very significant. You know, speaking of him, I still get texts from him almost every day from 83-year-old Aaron Neville with a song or a video. And I need to call him and say, what do you want me to do with all of this? But
he's sending you new songs still.
No, it's not new songs.
Okay.
It's just moments in his life.
Okay,
as if,
got it.
We need to put this all together, or maybe he just does it because he likes me. And I know he does like me, and we speak, you know, every blue moon. But when we did, you know, the Yellow Moon record, and we finished it, and I went to New Orleans to hear the mixes with Daniel. And it just so happened that night, it was the first time the Grateful Dead were back in New Orleans in 25 years.
Wow.
And the Neville Brothers threw a fish fry for the Grateful Dead out on this old fishing pier, you know, in a house on Lake Pontchartrain. And Art Neville's cooking redfish for Jerry Garcia. And you know, it was outrageous. And there was only their band and the Nevilles and couple of family friends and myself.
Wow.
I went and heard the record, and either that day or the next day I flew back to New Orleans, to Nashville, on my way to go to either LA or New York to take the record and deliver it. And my friend Craig Hayes, God rest his soul, who's gone, the beautiful guy who was an attorney but also a musician, and he was the Neville's attorney, and he's the one that waltzed me in to the Neville Nation. We did that in an abandoned warehouse or apartment building next to the Columns Hotel on St. Charles Street.
Yeah,
and
legendary.
Lanois and Malcolm and his team, just Mark Howard, they just brought in all their mobile gear and set up a studio. It was crazy. But Craig picked me up at the airport. It's a Sunday night. And he goes, come on, let's go to Cowboy Jack Clement's place. And we'll go smoke pot and listen to the record. And I'm like, Cowboy's not going to be up. We go there. We pull in. And in the darkness of his sort of roundabout entrance to his recording spa and home, there's like three guys smoking cigarettes. And it turned out to be Adam Clayton and Larry Mullins and Bono.
Wow.
And then we say, hey, we just did this record with your buddy Daniel Lanois.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're
Joshua
like-
Tree.
And they're like, you know, because they were doing Rattle and Hum.
Rattle and Hum.
With, you know, with Cowboy at that time.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. But, you know, Lanois and Eno produced so many of those remarkable U2 records.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, can we hear the record, lad? Can we listen to the record? I'm like, well, of course we can. We go inside and Cowboy's there and everybody's, you know, smoking some weed, and they listen to the record from top to bottom. Nobody said a word. Cowboy would dance around like he was tangoing. He was an amazing dance teacher and dancer in his own right. And the record ended, and everybody's just there like, oh, my God, this is breathtaking. Can we listen to it again? I'm like, oh, of course we can.
Oh, wow.
And we sat there till about 6 or 8 o'clock in the morning in Cowboy's studio listening to the record. And it wasn't even upstairs. It was downstairs, like sort of his workspace where he would listen to playbacks, and he had his instruments, and he'd write songs. But it was magical. And those are the kind of things why, you know, you'd want to do this stuff, because you get to do that, or you get to meet somebody for the first time that you've never met. And some of the meetings are great, like the Levon Helm thing. Some of them aren't so great, but it's an honor and privilege to be able to somehow be any part of that universe, you know?
Yeah, man.
You know, you do it as an artist and as a personality, and the people you get to meet, and also just the people you get to meet being on the road that are there, that, you know, they could be working in, you know, in car washes or steel mills, but how important the music is and that connection is. It's still, that will last forever.
That's the glue.
Yeah.